Hey, what is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. So, originally, I had a video I was going to post until I saw this interesting video by Chris Norland. And after seeing that, I'm like, okay, I have to make a video reacting to this because he's talking about Caleb Hammer. Caleb Hammer is literally like the biggest guy in finance right now. He's getting like the most views for the most part. I'd say him and this other woman named Nisha, I think is her name. Those two are like the hot stars in finance right now. And Chris Norland made a video where he was very critical of Caleb Hammer. By the way, Chris Norland has been on my channel before. He came on for like 10 minutes and him and Spencer Cornelia went back and forth. And that was a really funny video. So you could check that out. That was on a live stream that happened like a year ago. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and react to Chris Norland's video because there's some things I agree with and there's some things that I don't. So let's just go ahead and play it. And I'm going to give my honest opinion. Here we go.
Hi friends, welcome back. So we're talking about Caleb Hammer doing a review, and this has been a highly requested video and I'm doing it just for you. So if you don't know, he's a popular YouTuber in the finance space. He gives people financial advice. They come on.
All right, everybody knows who Caleb Hammer is.
Why this comes up is that he basically makes fun of his guests. Here's an example. Actors, do you pay these people? Who knows, right? One of the things that is like, how do you get these people to do it? There's been speculation on Reddit, and who knows, are these people actors? Do you pay these people? Who knows, right? One of the things that you're, why this.
I highly doubt he pays these people to come on. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe he does. I highly doubt it, though. I kind of look at it like Caleb Hammer is the new version of Dave Ramsey, right? Dave Ramsey takes calls. He's the expert. And random people call Dave Ramsey. And they basically get like help with their finances or ask questions and different things like that. Caleb Hammer took it a step further. He has in-person interviews where he deconstructs somebody's entire finances, looks at their bank accounts, what they're spending their money on, how much debt they have, all these different things. So to me, Caleb Hammer is literally nothing more than Dave Ramsey 2.0. He's like the newer generation of Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey's more of a radio guy. The old school finance. Caleb is the newer guy. He's more so adjusted to the times. He's doing an in-person interview with the fancy cameras, the great quality. And, for me personally, Chris Norland's going to say this, but he's basically going to say he thinks that he's exploiting these people. I don't think so, but let me just keep listening.
Comes up is that he basically makes fun of his guests. Here's an example. So this is a month ago, people crying, telling their story, and then he titles the video, "Dumb Stripper Blows My Mind."
Okay, so unfortunately, we live in a society where a lot of people are soft, and I'm just going to say it. I don't know what happened to our world. I don't know. When I was younger, I'm talking like I'm old, but I'm 29 years old. When I was a kid, the world was not this soft. I know that for a fact. When my parents were younger, the world was not this soft. I don't know what's going on, but we live in this crazy clown world today where if you tell the truth about something, you're a bad person, or you're making fun of people, or you're exploiting them. And this part of what Chris Norland is saying, I don't agree with. I have no problem with the title. If you're a dumb stripper who's spending your money on dumb things, that's what you are. I understand it. It might not be nice to say that, but god dang it, it's the dang truth, okay? I watch plenty of Caleb Hammer's videos. And his titles have never bothered me. I feel like his titles are more so telling it like it is. That's number one. Number two, we're on YouTube, Chris Norland. Everybody on YouTube titles their videos, at least if you want to be effective. If you want to be effective on YouTube, you title your videos in a certain way that is going to get clicks. That is the game of YouTube. You can't blame anybody else for that but the viewers. If I don't title my videos this certain way, people will not click. I've tested this so many times. You know how many videos I had that were a 10 out of 10 and then I changed the title and it became a 1 out of 10? I can't blame anybody for that. You title it how you title it. As long as you're not misleading people. See, that's where the problem arises. If you're saying dumb stripper blows my mind and the girl's not even a stripper and what she did wasn't even that dumb, then that's a problem because you're just straight up lying. You're misleading people. But if the title of your video is really what's happening, this is a stripper who is dumb, makes dumb decisions with her money, I don't really see a problem.
It's like, I don't explain it to you that's obviously, yes, I clicked that. Oh my God, what is that? But it is making fun of your guest. And this is part of the YouTube game. Just bring people on, make fun of poor people, right? Make fun of their problems. Here's another one. Dumb blonde can't get her life.
I'm sorry, man. I don't agree with that either by Chris. Chris is saying that, he brings poor people on, he makes fun of them. I don't think that's what's happening. I think, first of all, one thing I noticed, I actually watch, like I said, I watch a pretty decent amount of Caleb Hammer's shows, like while I'm at work, because I work from home. So I just throw on his podcast, do my work, whatever. Um, there's a pretty decent amount of people he has on here who actually are pretty high income earners. He doesn't have a crazy amount of people who are making $15 an hour. He's got some people who are making 100K or more. I mean, I've seen it, and they're still broken. They're still making bad decisions. So, I don't really agree with that. I truly don't believe that Caleb Hammer is making fun of poor people. I truly don't believe that. I think that what he's doing is he's just being honest. He's telling you what it is. And yes, the titles may not be so nice, but I kind of like it because we don't really have that. Can you think of anybody in finance that really has that? Like, we don't really have that, but I feel like that's good because it's a wake up call. And the other reason why I like the titles is because some of these titles apply to some of the viewers who are probably watching his videos. There are probably strippers or dumb whatever who do dumb things with their money. And that title was like, holy cow, wait, dumb what? Wait, this situation is similar to mine. Like, I don't know. I just don't have a problem with the titles. And clearly most people don't because they watch his videos.
Life together, right? And if you're watching my channel, Caleb Hammer is probably not your target anyway. You're probably not part of that. But this is the largest audience on YouTube. This is what it is. Moreover, this is a description of himself and his qualifications. Let's take a look. So again, he's giving people financial advice by saying, hey, this is your budget. This is what you should do with your money.
Yeah, I don't like this either because majority of people on YouTube have no financial background. Literally most of them. I wouldn't even consider Graham Stephan to have a financial background. I mean, the guy was a real estate agent. That's not, I mean, that's real estate. That's cool, but that's not a real financial back. It's not like you were I don't know. It's not like you're you worked for a hedge fund or you went to school and got your master's degree in business and economics or I don't know, accounting or, a certified public accountant or I don't know, just one of these certain certifications. Most people on YouTube, honestly, most of them were like real estate agents. You got one, Andre Jick, who was a dang magician. Stock Mo was a teacher. Larry Jones was an Uber driver. I mean, I don't really think that matters. I think what matters is as long as the information is good. Now, I will say this. I do think it matters if the advice you're giving is bad. But I actually think that Caleb Hammer's advice is actually pretty good. I really do. Regardless of his background, whatever, the guy does a good job. Just like Graham Stephan. Graham Stephan has no financial background. The guy just was a real estate agent. That's it. That's all he did. He doesn't even have, I don't even think the guy has a college degree. But Graham Stephan, at least the old Graham Stephan, I don't like his videos now, but back in the day, his videos were pretty good. And that's why he blew up. He was making very good videos on credit cards and just overall personal finance. And, as long as the information is good, you're fine.
And this is Caleb. It says, meet Caleb. Episodes. Anything there. And to be fair, maybe you don't need a license to do this kind of stuff, but create an agency. They're the agency that was pumping FTX. That's the crypto exchange.
Okay, so I do have a problem with this. This is the one thing I agree with Chris Norland on. I do think it's a red flag that Caleb Hammer is with Creators Agency. I'm sure a lot of people probably forgot, but people like myself, Chris Norland, we covered the Creators Agency fiasco pretty a lot. We covered it a lot on our channels. And Creators Agency is this just clown agency that would find all these sponsorships for all these YouTubers. And they were the big reason why a lot of these YouTubers were promoting FTX. And my biggest problem with that is the founders of this company are literally lawyers. And one of them, her name is like Erica Kohlberg. And she prides herself on being the lawyer that reads the fine print. Well, clearly you didn't read the fine print because every single person that works under your agency, for the most part, who took that sponsorship, promoted an absolute scam, which was actually pretty easy to figure out and determine for somebody who supposedly reads the fine print. Because had you read the fine print, you would have saw major red flags with FTX. So I do agree with Chris Norland here. Caleb Hammer being associated with creators agency is, it's not good. It's a huge red flag. But again, I'm sure Caleb Hammer doesn't care. Everybody's on YouTube to make money. Let's not make any mistakes about it. That's how the game is. Creators agency, even though they're very unethical in my opinion, I don't think they're good. I think that they are extremely greedy and money hungry, and they don't truly care about the fans or the people. They just want to enrich their, their clients, I guess, whatever. That's what I think. I don't think that's good. But yeah, the bottom line is, yeah, it's not good. Let's keep going.
NFTs, etc. All the big finance influencers were in it. There's a lot of money involved with this stuff, pushing products and scamming people, poor people money for that kind of stuff. Who knows? Moreover, he actually has a direct link to his webpage. You can click it right there, and it takes you right there. So it's the same person. I wanted to make sure that's clear. So that's him. That's his first YouTube, and this is the thing is you figured out very quickly that this is an entertainment game. Your largest audience is essentially poor people who can't manage their money, and make videos about McDonald's and Walmart and go for that. I
See, I don't like stuff like this. Listen, I'm going to just say it. I'm going to keep it real. I don't think you should shame people for working. I'm not saying that you should do that. But we also got to stop this soft society where we baby people who work at McDonald's and Walmart. In my opinion, if you work at McDonald's and Walmart and you're 35, 40 years old, I do think it would probably be in your best interest to do better. Why? Is it because I'm shaming you or I think you're less of a human being because you work at McDonald's or Walmart? No, that's not why. The reason why is because you're never, ever in your life going to be able to retire on a McDonald's hourly wage or Walmart. You're never going to be able to do it. You're never going to be able to raise a family. You're never going to be able to enjoy life the way that you want to. You're going to be a slave to your bills for the rest of your life by working these jobs. Okay? So Caleb Hammer saying, well, I don't even see the title on McDonald's. So I don't even know where Chris Nolan is really going, but I guess he's saying that, he's putting McDonald's and Walmart on there. And it's like, you got to remember, this is finance. Okay? A lot of people who are watching Caleb Hammer, sure, some of them are probably poor. I get it, fine. But I also think there's a lot of people that watch Caleb Hammer that are just genuinely interested in finance and love this stuff and are interested in seeing what other people's financial lives are like and how they're spending their money and what they're doing. And when you see people doing really dumb, crazy things, yes, it's extremely entertaining. Dave Ramsey figured that out real quick. You had people on Dave Ramsey's channel that were going $1 million, that racked up $1 million of student loan debt to get a freaking doctorate's degree in intersectional movement building studies or something, gender studies or whatever. Like, it's crazy, So, again, I kind of look at it the way I look at Kevin Samuels, for those who remember him. A lot of people would be like, Kevin Samuels is the worst person in the world. He's terrible. You're making fun of these women. You're trashing them. They came on the damn show, okay? Caleb Hammer, it's the same thing. If Caleb Hammer was that terrible of a person, if he's that bad, he's making fun of these people. He's making fun of them. Why are these people coming on the show? Okay? You have to take that into consideration. Obviously, he can't be that bad of a guy if people are coming on his show. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest here. The fact that people are coming on the show, I anticipate he's probably pretty good in real life, and I anticipate that when they come up there, they know what they're getting. I'm sure he's honest with them. I'm sure they're probably signing some sort of, what is it, like a waiver or something? Not a waiver. I forget the form, but, before you do an interview, you sign something. Pretty sure they're doing that. I'm pretty sure he's telling them, look, I mean, no offense to you, but this is the way the show goes. I am going to roast the heck out of you for these trash finances, okay? Is that cool? Okay, great. Sign here. Let's turn on the camera. If it's not cool, okay, fine. Goodbye. I'm really thinking, how many people that he's interviewed have been mad at the situation? That's kind of what I would look at. That's what I would want to know. Has there ever been anybody that went on this show and spoke out after and said, oh, he made fun of me? It's like you're kind of just speaking for people. I don't really get that vibe that he's making fun of people. I get it as he's more so doing a tough love kind of thing. He's being brutally honest about the dumb decisions that these people make. And we have to be honest. In America, are there poor people who are poor because of circumstances that are out of their control? Yes. There are people who are poor because they got sick and they racked up an insane amount of medical debt. And there's nothing they can do about it. I sympathize with those people. There are people who are poor because they have sick elderly family members or their mom is sick or whatever, and they got to take care of her Different things like that. Maybe they had other circumstances. Maybe they unfortunately got hooked on drugs. Maybe they unfortunately got down on their luck, ended up homeless. I don't know. There's a multitude of things. But one thing I'm not going to give an excuse for is a perfectly well abled bodied person who can think and learn a skill and is purposely choosing to be poor because they're too lazy to go and do better. I see this every day in my own life and it annoys the heck out of me. I have friends who I tell every day, go work at the post office, go, I don't know, go be a barber, go to the fire department, go be a police officer, go to the army. These are all jobs where you can get a real career and make much better money. But instead they settle for working at the front desk, making 14 an hour, working at the fast food restaurant, doing, I don't know, whatever, gig work. It's just, it's unbelievable. These people need to be roasted. We need more of this. This soft stuff of you can't say anything bad about anybody anymore is what's causing part of this problem. We got to be willing, we got to be able to thread the needle. And I think Caleb Hammer does that. We got to be able to thread the needle between helping people, but also giving them honest criticism, the honest truth about what's happening. You can't sugarcoat these things because when it comes to finance, you are up against the clock. The people who have their finances together and understand it and are keeping their debts low or having no debt and saving up money and investing at 19, 20 years old are going to be way better off than people who are just now figuring this out at 40 or making terrible decisions at 40. So I really appreciate Caleb Hammer's channel. And I honestly think we should have more channels like this because I really do think that this is doing a lot of good. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of people in this country who are in terrible financial situations because it's their fault. I mean, I could go on and on about this. You know how many people are out here that are just having kids willy-nilly and not planning them? That is a huge mistake to make. And I'm not shaming people who made a mistake. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. But all I'm saying is that is a problem that I am seeing. There are a lot of young people. I'm not saying women. I'm saying men and women. There are a lot of young people, period, who are having kids and are not planning for them. Kids are extremely expensive. My niece is 6 years old. My nephew is 16 months old. Daycare is 12 to 1300 a month. Some places it's 1500. It's more than that. Like, matter of fact, when my niece was in daycare, we couldn't afford it they couldn't afford it in the suburbs because it was way too high. Her daycare was like 1300 in the hood, okay? In the freaking hood, it was 1300, okay? My nephew, same situation we're having right now. We're not even talking about diapers and medical insurance and food and blah, blah, blah. You know, people just make really bad decisions. And we don't even got to go to kids route. Just everything else that I'm saying. There's a lot of people who spend way too much money on fast food. There's a lot of people in this country who don't even track their spending. There's a lot of people in this country who don't think long term when it comes to their finances. They don't think about maybe one day I'll buy a house. Maybe one day I'll buy this. Maybe one day I'll invest. They don't think like that. They think like, okay, I got this paycheck right now. Okay, I spent it. Okay, crap. When I get paid next week, I'm going to do this. They never think about putting money away or trying to do better for themselves. And Caleb Hammer is kind of not really exposing that, but he's calling it out, but he's also trying to bring awareness to this because there's so many people in this country that have these issues going on and nobody ever talks about it because on social media, everybody's obsessed with looking rich, looking like they're doing better than everybody else, looking like they're living a good life. But in reality, most people, at least due to the economic data that we can see, are freaking broke. The average person doesn't even have $1,000 in their bank account. I am not trying to crap on poor people, but if you have less than $1,000 in your bank account, that is very scary. That means if you get fired from your job, you don't have an emergency fund. How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to survive in the event you can't find a job for several months? It's very risky. Okay, my rant's done. I know I went for a while. Here we go.
I understand that people find this entertaining, but I don't like the spirit of it, to be perfectly frank. I don't like making fun of poor people in this way. I find it like exploitative, like Jerry Springer. If you know what Jerry Springer is, if you guys are old enough.
Not exploitation if they choose to do it. Exploitation is taking advantage of people who really don't have any better situation. Like, there are several ways that you can exploit someone, but taking a grown adult and putting a link to say, hey, if you want to be on my show, click this link. And then they click the link and they say, hey, my name is Jennifer Williams and I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm 28 years old and this is my financial situation and this is all that, and I would love to come on your show. How is that exploitation? They are filling out the form and choosing to come on the show and get roasted. Everything that's happening, they know what's going on. So it's not exploitation. I don't agree with that.
And I don't even know if he's still on TV anymore, but essentially you'd bring on, two people and there's, they had sex maybe 3 years ago and there's like a secret kid that the, person doesn't know about, and they do a DNA test or they fight about, oh no, that's not my kid. You were cheating on me. And there'll be two dads, and which dad is the kid? Yes, it's entertainment. Yes, it is. Right.
Okay. Now this, I agree with him on. I think that shows like Maury and Jerry Springer now, I think those are terrible shows. I really do. They have all these random people with these baby daddy mama drama problems and these DNA tests, and they go on there and they act the fool. And on the Maury show, the girl runs to the back. They be like, you are not the father. And then the girl starts screaming and run to the back. I honestly do hate those shows. And this, I agree with Chris Norland. The Maury show, I agree with. But the problem I have is he's trying to compare the Maury show and Jerry Springer to grown people signing up to talk about their finances. By the way, not everybody who goes on Caleb Hammer's channel is poor. I just want to make that clear. Also, I want to make it clear too. There are so many people in this country who are not poor. There are so many people in this country who are high earners and are still in a terrible financial situation because they make bad decisions with their money. Some of them have been on Caleb Hammer's show. Some of them have been on ESPN's 30 for 30. There's a lot of celebrities. There's a lot of famous and rich people, athletes. The problem, Chris, and this is what Caleb Hammer is kind of highlighting, it's not necessarily people who make low income, because there are people who make low income that are in a terrible financial situation. There are people in a high income that are in a terrible financial situation. And it's very simple. The reason why is because their expenses are higher than the amount of money that they make. Caleb Hammer is trying to explain to them, you got to fix that or you're going to be screwed financially going forward. That's all it is.
Right. But it's exploitative, right? There's no other way to put it. And it's the same kind of stuff with Caleb. Does he help people? Who knows, right? That's up for you to decide. If you're watching my channel, you probably don't need to watch Caleb. You probably don't need.
So one thing I've learned with YouTube Finance is you truly can't help people. What happens is you put the information out there, it's going to be up to the people to help themselves. They're going to have to follow the information. How do we know that doctors are really helping people? I mean, obviously they are, but my point is, that might be a bad analogy, but my point is, what I'm trying to say is, doctors, a regular physician can tell you, hey, this, and this is going on. You need to do this, and this. You need to lose weight. You need to do this to bring your blood pressure down, your cholesterol. Well, there's no way to gauge how many people the doctor has helped with that advice if they're not following it. Like, it doesn't matter is what I'm trying to say. The doctor can tell you all he wants. You need to lose weight. You need to eat better. Stop eating so much sugar. Stop drinking pop. Cut this out. Work out. Blah, blah, blah. If people don't follow it, what are you going to do? So I don't agree with that. I mean, at the end of the day, Caleb Hammer is giving them the advice and telling them what he thinks. It's up to them to follow it. There's nothing you can do if they choose not to follow it. And if I were a betting man, I would bet that most of these people who come on this show probably don't follow his advice. I bet you they come on there, they get roasted, they learn a lot, and then they go back and they do the same stuff. Why? Because we live in a culture in the United States that has been, for whatever reason, has been branded into people's minds that going into debt for stupid purchases is smart. You should buy a $20,000 car. That's smart. You shouldn't buy a $5,000 car in full, maybe a Toyota, which very fuel efficient, can survive for 20 years. Very good car. No, you should get the Nissan Altima. You should get the $20,000 car. That's the situation we're living in. So when you add all that up, it just, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Need this kind of help, you probably can manage your money just fine. Over here, we just try to talk about the news and these kind of things, but this is the reality. The average American can't budget. So I actually do agree with Caleb in that regard. I completely.
Oh, he's wrong. Oh, God, Chris Norland's so wrong. The average American can budget. And I would I would debate anybody. I don't care if it's Warren Buffett. I mean, I'm sure Warren Buffett agrees, but I don't care if it's the smartest guy in world history. I will debate anybody and win when I tell you that you can absolutely budget regardless of what situation you're in. How do I know this? Because most Americans spend way too much money on fast food and make certain purchases that aren't good. The average American is terrible at finances. So, yes, you can absolutely budget. Now, some people may be in certain financial situations where even if they budget, it's not going to help because they just have so much debt or they're not making enough money. Like their income is so low. There's different factors to it. But no, you can absolutely budget. Anybody can budget. No doubt about it. Anybody can budget. And I'll tell you something else. There's a lot of poor people that I know. And one of the main reasons why they're poor is because they spend way too much money on dumb things like designer bags and fast food and clothes and just dumb things that they don't need. You know how many poor people I've seen that make so many dumb decisions? I'm just sitting here like, bruh, you got $10,000 in credit card debt. Why are you living in downtown Chicago? That is stupid. Go live in an $800 studio apartment. Pay your credit card debt. I'm telling you, I'm just telling you what I know. Let's keep going.
Agree. I completely agree that the average American eats at McDonald's. I can agree that the average American shops at Walmart. I understand that that's your target audience. And you do your thing, but for me, the reason why we're making the video today, when you start charging these expensive classes, $147, I find it to be too much. Yes, I understand. Your argument's going to be, well, it's cheaper than $1,000. I'm not charging $1,000, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really like this little enroll course thing he's got going on. I don't like that. But I've kind of grown as a YouTuber to realize that that's just the YouTube game. That's just what people do. That's just what it is. When people get a huge following, I'll tell you the YouTube game. And whether you like it or not, whether you believe it's ethical, it's good, this is the YouTube game. Most YouTubers they're going to make more money from sponsorships and courses than they are from ad revenue, because ad revenue really ain't much. And I can tell you right now, my ad revenue, I don't know what's going on in 2024, but the ad revenue is terrible. My RPM used to be like $7-8. Now it's like $4. I'm like, what happened? Like, it's so bad now. Like, you used to make pretty decent money from the RPM, which is like how much money you make per 1,000 views. So like maybe you're making 10 like there's been videos I made where I made like $15-20 per 1,000 views. I have had videos like that, but not really like that anymore. So my overall point is, if you're a full-time YouTuber, which Caleb Hammer is, and you're running a business and you got employees and you want your business to be profitable and you're making a lot of money, it would be dumb of you as a businessman to not have a course. And again, I'm not defending it. I don't think you should have a course. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just explaining it. I'm just trying to be fair and rational and realistic here, because who's to say that if you got 900,000 subscribers on YouTube, you wouldn't open a course? That's like $30,000 a month you're missing out on. Like, who wouldn't do that? Most people would. Also, I haven't seen this guy's course, so I have no idea if it's good or bad. I anticipate probably nothing special. It's probably a bunch of copy and paste work from Google, like most of these courses are. That's probably what it is. It's probably something that you could find for free on Google or YouTube. That's really the honest truth. I don't know, though.
With this kind of content, I'm uncomfortable with these kind of people giving it. And his qualifications that he was addicted to McDonald's, and from his own words, it's right here, that, he had credit card debt fueled by McDonald's. And it's like, is that the person I want to be listening to? Now, for some people, the answer is yes. For some people, they say, Caleb's just like me. I have credit card problems. I love McDonald's. And I need to, listen to someone who helps me break that McDonald's and credit card, addiction. And that's your majority on YouTube. It is a frustrating world that we live in, because, how can I say, you can be very, very profitable if you follow the Meet Caleb or Dave Ramsey formula. If you bring on poor people and make fun of them and, talk about these kind of things, people love it. They do.
All right, well, that's it. And wow, this video is 30 minutes. That's crazy. Yeah, that's really all I got. That was my reaction to the whole thing. I think Caleb Hammer's videos are good. I'm just going to be honest. In terms of Caleb Hammer as a person, like the whole course thing and him being affiliated with Creators Agency and all that, I could agree with Chris on that one. That one, I don't really rock with that one. I don't really like that. But in terms of the actual content itself, I haven't really heard too much that Caleb Hammer has said in terms of the advice he gives that's actually bad. I think a lot of the advice he gives is pretty good. Now, there might be another argument. You might say, well, sometimes he might be a little condescending or a little too aggressive or whatever it is. Whatever your little nitpick is, that's fine. Overall, I don't have a problem with it. That's just my opinion. So, anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, you're absolutely amazing. I can't believe this thing went on for 30 minutes. Oh, by the way, I made a new Instagram. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. I'm just not going to say it. But I made a new Instagram account. If you like the content and like everything we do and blah, 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 feel free to follow me on social media. I don't really get on Twitter. I really just get on Instagram. So just follow me on Instagram if you want. It is, I'll put it in the description below. There you go. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.